Well, guys, I messed up. I was over here at Bucees this morning, 6 a.m. I had an 8 o'clock appointment in Jacksonville to get 3 cars for a local guy, and I was getting diesel and DEF, and a man in front of me walks back and starts talking to me, distracting me, where I go, how much I charge, all this. So I put diesel, I probably put 25 gallons in or something like that. I was running low just to get me to Jacksonville and back. I'm gonna call it a week after this, and I had both the caps off, pumped the diesel, put it back, and I was sitting there talking to him, grabbed the DEF and was pumping, and I'm like, I didn't need much DEF, and I looked, I was pumping DEF into my diesel tank. So immediately I had it idling, I heard a sputter, so I stopped and had a guy luckily pulled me around the park into the parking lot, an open area, and I got a few of these black tanks down here to drain the oil when I change my oil, and I did it a couple times, and talked to a man, and he pulled me around the store up the little road here to this little cul-de-sac, but over here in this field. So I'm out of the parking lot, and so everything I've seen, let me get under here, there is a drain cock under here and connected to the fuel filter. So what I have to do is I have to close that, hit the power button so the fuel pump fills up and you can hear it. And once it stops, I open the drain cock and drain it. So I've got about 25 to 30 gallons in here, and everybody goes into panic, I can rebuild the engine. Well, it's not true. All you have to do, you have to drain the fuel tank empty, change the fuel filters, there's 2 of them on here, and probably the water separator. And once it's all out of the system, it should run fine. So right there, the fuel pump kicked off. I turned the power back off. Oh, climb back under here, and there's the yellow drain cock. And you got to do this constantly. It may get it 2 or 3 minutes of draining fuel, and then same process. Got a guy coming now, a friend of mine. He's gonna take me across the highway to the Ford dealer. I'm gonna get a couple fuel filters, or 2 sets, and a water separator. So once I get this fuel drain completely empty, it should be good to go. Once I change everything and put fresh fuel in it. But like they said, DEF is so heavy it sinks to the bottom of the fuel tank quick. So you kind of catch it quick. So when you start draining it, the DEF is the first to go out of the system. So it's a 50-gallon tank. Thank God I didn't have it full. It's supposed to be another hose I can disconnect, but this is the process, and it's been 2 hours, and I've probably done 15 gallons. So it'll flow nicely like that for a couple of minutes, and then you got to do the same process. Close it, tap power to get the fuel pump going, fill it up again, and drain it. So I'll let you know how this all turns out. Thank God for YouTube, because everyone says there's no need to panic. You just drain the fuel tank completely empty, and then see, there it's gone. Now I'm gonna have to do the same process. Drain the fuel tank completely, change the fuel filters, both of them, one under here, one under the hood, and the water separator. Put fresh fuel in there, and it should be good. And then maybe a day or so, change the filters again, just to be sure. So it's gonna be a little expensive mistake, but the man was sitting there talking to me, and I just got distracted, didn't even think about it. That's never happened to me. So oh, you live and learn, you live and learn. I had to cancel the cars today. I told him I'll pick them up tomorrow, so he was cool about that. So I was planning on being back by now, parking the trailer, changing the brakes on it, and then do my other trailer tomorrow. This kind of threw a anchor in my way. Threw a wrench in my process. But this is a non-stop process. I wanted to get out of the Bucees parking lot, get out here away from everybody on my own. So in case I left a little, you know, a little oil or a little diesel stain on their concrete, they're pretty sticklers about that. And plus that place gets so packed you can't move in there. So luckily I found a nice guy that gave me a tow over here, and he knows a lot about Fords. He said, yeah, you'll be good to go. Just drain the fuel tank. All right, we'll keep you posted as things progress. Well, I got it fixed and running. There's that drain cock I was showing you earlier. It slow process, but up above is 2 fuel lines. One's got a yellow clip. You can undo that clip, pull the line apart of the joint, and let it hang down, and hit your power button, and it'll gush that fuel out for about a minute. Then you gotta hit power button again to stream it out. Took me a little while, and you know, tapping the power all day to drain that tank, I killed my battery. But I went ahead and drained the tank completely bone dry, put a new separator on it, water separator there, and a new fuel filter under the hood, and my battery was dead. My buddy was working, he couldn't get here, so I called roadside service. It took about 10 minutes to jump me to charge the batteries, and once she turned over, you can't tell, it's got sound, dry, sweet, sounds good, there's no sputtering, so it's all clean fuel, clean filters. So point being, don't ever get distracted at the fuel pump. It can ruin your day. And the fuel filter and the water separator, there's a Ford dealer on the other side of Bucees across the highway. $197 for those 2 items. And there's a place on Facebook called Doc's Diesel. I can get a fuel filter, separator, oil filter, air filter, and a cabin filter for $102. So if y'all need to get good parts at a good price, and go to Doc's Diesel, D-O-C-S Diesel. Trust me, it's better than paying from AutoZone or the dealership for parts. I will do that from now on. I will always have them in stock. Okay guys, what a wasted day this was.